Match Fishtank, Unit 8, Lesson 11. In this mini lesson, we're going to use the data from March temperatures that we visited in Lesson 6 and also in Lesson 9 to learn how to use a 5-number summary to make a box plot. So here's our data, and we found before that the median was 38. This is for the first 11 days in March. The lower quartile was 31, the upper quartile was 57, our maximum was 64, and our minimum was 21. So there's our 5-number summary. The 5-number summary is a quick way to look at the data to be able to see it a measure of center with the median and 2 different measures of spread with the range and the interquartile range. Now we're going to take this number line to use our 5-number summary to draw a very quick kind of graphical representation called a box plot. Sometimes it's also called a box and whisker plot. So what I'm going to do here is start by drawing some vertical lines on my number line in the approximate location of these numbers for the 5-number summary. So there's 38, and that would be my median. I'm going to now go down to 21, my minimum. 31 is my lower quartile. I've got my 38 for my median. My upper quartile is 57. And my maximum is 64. So now that I have this 5-number summary on the number line here, I can make it into a box plot. I'm going to just draw lines to make, oops, so messy. Like so. Please forgive my messiness here. All right, so now this box plot shows me the 5-number summary in a really quick and easy to see way. I can tell, for example, that my median is right there, and I can see that the upper half of the data falls here in this range. I can see that if my median's here, this is the lower half of the data. And remember when we talked about interquartile range, we talked about the quartiles dividing the data into quarters or fourths. So this is the lowest 25% of the data. Here's the next 25% of the data, the next fourth of the data. Here's the next fourth of the data, and here's the upper fourth of the data, which tells us that this area in the box is the middle half or middle 50% of the data. 50% or half of the data points would fall in this box. So that's a really nice way to quickly see some major key points about the data. Now let's compare that to our numbers for the predicted last 10 days of March. And now I'm going to draw this on the same number line. I'll use a different color and do it a little above so that we can compare these two. So I will start with my minimum, and that's going to be 46. And then I'm going to go to my maximum, which is 50. All right, now in the middle here, I see that I have 48 and a half is my median. My upper quartile is 49, and my lower quartile is 48. Okay, so now I'm going to draw my box between my lower quartile and my upper quartile and add my whiskers. There we go. So here I have very rapidly drawn a box plot that helps us see the differences between these two data sets very easily and graphically. I can see quickly that the measure of center is much warmer in the last 10 days of March, and I can also see that the data points are far less spread out. The middle 50%, the middle half of the data, is in that box, and notice how much less spread out they are. The same thing we could see with the interquartile range, only doing it this way gives us a nice graphical representation. By the way, you may be wondering why this is called sometimes a box and whisker plot, and I like to help myself remember that by drawing on here a little imaginary cat. Here's my cute little cat's face. And there are the cat's whiskers. So the whiskers that represent the minimum and the maximum stick out to the sides, and you can remember this by remembering that the cat's head is the most of the data, and the whiskers just stick out to the side to show the top and the bottom ends.